One way to solve an equation, that is to find the solution to that equation, is to modify the equation, to go through a series of equivalent equations is what we call them. And so if we were trying to solve something like x minus 4 equals 2, you might be able to see the solution to this one right away, but stick with me and see how I'm going to solve it, because that's a much more robust way. It's going to work with a lot of these equations that you can't just guess at. So in any case, this says the number we're looking for, when you subtract 4 from it, you get 2. Well, if I want to solve this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, if I subtract 4 from it, and then I add 4, I'm going to get exactly back to the number I want. But I can't just add 4 to it over here. This would make this equation not true. We could have x minus 4 over here, 2 over here. This was equal to 2 before, but when I add 4 to it, it's no longer equal to 2. So to balance things out, I'm going to add 4 to both sides of the equation. So the reason I'm doing addition here is because addition and subtraction are inverses. Addition and subtraction are inverses. And what we'll see a little bit later is that multiplication and division are inverses. So right now, we're trying to undo subtraction, and I'll use addition. So I add 4 to both sides. Over here, the subtracting 4 and the adding 4 cancel out. That's what I mean by them being inverses, and we get just an x on this side of the equation. Over on the other side of the equation, we had 2 plus 4. So ultimately, this equation now, after I've modified it, reads x equals 6, and the solution to this is, well, trivial. It's x equals 6. That's our solution. And you can check to see if this is true. When I say check your work, whenever I say check your work in this class, what I mean is, well, when you're checking solutions at least, plugging it back into the original equation and seeing if it comes out as a true statement. So 6 minus 4 question mark equals 2. Yeah, 2 equals 2. That's a true statement. So x equals 6 was the solution to that equation. We can use this same sort of approach on these other problems. This one, I say x minus 7 equals 10. To get rid of subtracting 7, I'll add 7 to both sides. Over here, subtracting 7 and adding 7 cancel out. And over here, 10 plus 7 is 17. So you can check it. 17 minus 7 equals 10 is a true statement. Now, these are, like I said, these are simple equations. These definitely will get more complicated, so stick with me. Don't just kind of zone out and try to jump into the more complicated equations, because you'll get lost. All right, this one we have 12 plus x equals 27. I would like to isolate the x, and that is currently added onto the 12. It's not following the x, but technically this is the same thing as x plus 12. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides of the equation. The subtracting 12 will exactly get rid of the adding 12 that's happening over here, and I'll get 27 minus 12, which is 15. To check this, 12 plus 15 question mark equals 27 is a true statement, so that is true. All right, for something like this, x plus 6 equals 2. This is where your intuition might already be starting to fail, might already be failing you a little bit. To get rid of the addition, I want to subtract 6 from both sides. You might think of this as adding a negative 6, because that's how we did. That's how we would do these. We would get a negative 4 on the other side of the equation, though, because 2 plus negative 6, then 6 minus 2 is 4, but the 6 is negative, so our end result is negative 4 here. So let's check this. Negative 4 plus 6 question mark equals 2. Well, 6 minus 4 is 2. We get 2 equals 2, which is a true statement. So that is our solution here. And for something that has decimals in it, it's the same process. It doesn't really matter if the variable is on the left or the right-hand side of the equation. We can do the exact same sort of thing. Currently I have an x, and I want to get rid of this 3.1 that's being added to it. So that means I'll subtract 3.1. Again, I'm using subtraction because I'm undoing addition here. So I subtract 3.1 from over here. Those are going to cancel out, and I'll be left with just an x. And on the other side of the equation, I have 8.4 minus 3.1. And I can ask my calculator. 8.4 minus 3.1 is 5.3. So I get 5.3 is x. That's my solution. Let's check it. 8.4 question mark equals 3.1 plus 5.3. Well, 3.1 plus 5.3, you can see does come out to 8.4. That is a true statement. So this was my solution over here.